Hello everyone!
Hi.
Alright, so Everly is here to help me today. We are going to show you how to make a couple of felt bookmarks. So that's what we're going to work on today. The first one we're going to do this. This video we're going to work on this one right here. So this is a super fun bookmark with the cutout hearts and then a little ribbon to attach the heart.
Wait, are we about to also do stars? Or is it just going to be hearts?
It's just going to be hearts. You know why it's just going to be hearts?
Good.
Good, because you like that. The reason that it's going to be just hearts is because I am doing a kit, and in the kit I have the hearts already cut out like this. However, if you're making this at home, you could totally put stars. You could make it and do stars instead of hearts, and that would be awesome, right? All right, so for this one, what you're going to get out of your kit is you want 3 rectangle pieces. So you're going to have one with the hearts already cut off. You're going to have the inside piece, and then an outside piece. Then the other things that you're going to need would be the ribbon and embroidery floss. So you're going to have at least 3 in there, a needle, and then we need the small hearts. Okay.
And then a big one.
So this is going to be for the other project. So we're going to set that one off to the side for right now. So again, you're going to use your 3 longer pieces, your embroidery floss, your ribbon, and then you should have 2 smaller hearts that we're going to use for the top part of the bookmark. Okay? All right. Everly, are you ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. So first thing you need to do is you're going to grab your piece with the hearts that are already cut out and your inside piece. Okay? And we're going to sew these first. The reason we're going to sew this first is we are going to be sewing, if you look on our sample, there are stitches around the heart cutouts. That way there's not like pockets or anything in there. So the first thing we're going to do is attach the inside piece to the top piece with the hearts. So there's just the 2 pieces of felt. We're going to line them up. And Everly, would you be able to give me some pins?
How many?
You can just give me the whole thing. Fabulous. All right, so we have pins. The reason we're going to use pins is we're going to match these on top of each other. I'm going to pin it in place so that way it doesn't shift around too much while Everly is sewing. Felt is kind of sticky, so it doesn't slide around too much, but just putting a couple of pins in there will help. Now, if there's any parts that are kind of off that are going to bug you, we can trim that after you're done sewing this, because, you know, if I made your kit, chances are that maybe they're not perfect. I don't know. Right? Maybe? Okay, Everly, this is what you have to decide first. Looking at the embroidery flosses in your kit, you're going to decide what color thread you want to go around the outside of your hearts. You could do different colors and mix it around if you wanted to, or you can do it all the same. Like this one, we did the hot pink on all of it. So you get to pick which one you want to do.
I kind of want this navy.
You want to do the navy? I think that will look wonderful. All right, so what we're going to do is start off by taking it off of our board here. You know what, we don't like to have it super long. I like to kind of just hold it like the length of my arm. And you know what? Everly, guess what?
What?
We need scissors. Scissors did not come in the kit. Can you get me some scissors? Awesome.
Safety.
Safety first. Alright, so we're going to cut our thread off of there. And we have to do what first? Do you remember? It's been a while since you hand sewed. What's the first thing that we're going to do?
Poke it through.
We got to poke it through. I'm going to tie a knot first, and then I'm going to poke it through. So first I'm going to tie a knot on the one end of my string. And all I do is I wrap it around my 2 fingers and then tuck my tail through. And if you guys have ever sewn with me, I have a thing with 3. So I always do 3 knots just because. So it's extra secure. Alright, so now, I have my knot on this end. I'm going to come down and grab my other end, maybe, and we're going to thread it, poke it through the eye of the needle. If you're poking your own, you can use spit. Otherwise, sometimes we use cups of water, huh? We don't want to.
It's gross.
It's gross, I'm sorry. Alright, so we have our needle threaded, and guess what? This inside piece, this accent piece, is going to be hidden because after we hand sew it, we're going to be putting a back onto it, like this, okay? So you're not going to see all the stitches on the inside of here. We're going to hide it. So you get to just start by poking it through. Now you can decide if you want to do a running stitch or a back stitch. Braylon did this one. It looks like she might have done a back stitch, but I can't remember. Whoops, did I drop something? I did. So do you know what stitch you want to do? Do you want to do a running stitch or a back stitch?
Wait, is running stitch like forward?
Yes, it's just like forward. It almost looks like dashed lines.
I'm gonna go with running stitch.
Running stitch?
Well, what's the last one that I was really like that so off with? What was that one?
The ones that we usually do are running stitch, back stitch, or a whip stitch.
Oh yeah, whip.
We can whip stitch the outside edge of this later. Okay, but for right now let's do our running stitch. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start by poking through the back, and I'm just gonna kind of start it right here at the, sorry, it's upside down. I'm just gonna start the middle part of the heart. I'm gonna pull it until it stops, and my knot is in the back, okay? So we don't want that knot in the front, we want it hiding in the back. And then we're going to, we'll just do one small little stitch right here. Actually, what you decide? You can bring it back right here, I guess. Yeah? Okay. You can decide how long you want to do it. Now, when you're going around curves, sometimes it's better to do shorter stitches than when you are going like on straight lines, right? So I usually say like 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. If I'm doing something really straight, then sometimes I'll do it up to 1/2 of an inch. But you can see that I just have one little dashed line there. Now, looking at the back, I can see where my string is at. It's right there. So that's one way to kind of know where I'm going to poke. Usually I just kind of hold it to the front. I'm just going to poke it up, pull it up. So I'm going to let Everly take over now. We're just going to do dashed lines all the way around. And you guys, I'm not the best hand sewer, so I better let Everly do the rest of it, huh?
I bet.
If you need to take any of those out, you can.
It's fine.
Alright, so Everly did her first heart. Isn't that so cute? And now, depending on how long your string is, we didn't make our string super long because it makes it harder to sew with. So right now, what we're going to do is finish off this string. Okay, so we're going to knot this one off. So I will kind of show you how I knot it off, and then we'll start a brand new string for our second heart. Okay? Alright, so we have our string. We're going to be working from the back. What we're going to do is I usually go through the next closest stitch and just stick my needle through it from the back. I'm going to pull it and make a loop. Once the loop starts to get small, I'm going to take my needle and go through the loop to make a knot. Okay, so now that I have that knot done, I'm going to do it just a couple more times just to secure that knot. Go through the loop and pull it. And because I have a thing with 3s, we're going to do it one more time. And then we can cut this off and start a brand new one. All right, so now at this point, what I do a lot of times is especially when I'm working with felt, because it's so thick, I kind of just take my needle and go through the first layer there. You can't see anything from the front. You can't see that needle at all. So I kind of just pull it through so that way, oops, so sorry, it will hide that thread a little bit and keep it, oops, I got twisted. It's just gonna keep it from dangling off, and then I can cut it. Now this part doesn't really matter too much because like I said, we're gonna hide all of that when we go to cover up with our other sheet. It will be hidden like that. But that's just kind of how I finish it off. So now we're gonna start a brand new string. Are you gonna do navy for all of it? Or are you gonna do a different color?
Wait, are we gonna still need pink in here? Like for the big hole, I think I'm gonna do this blue. So you don't really want this blue on the blue.
Okay. So do you want to just do the navy for the whole thing, or do you want to put a pink in the middle?
Actually, I'm gonna do the pink in the middle and then the other one, hot navy.
Perfect.
And the hot at the top, this color.
Perfect. I love it. Okay. So creative, Everly.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're gonna get our middle string All right, so we're gonna tie a knot on this one. So what I'm doing is I'm looping it around my 2 fingers and making a circle. I'm gonna tuck the tail through the circle and pull it shut. And now, keeping that knot right there in the middle of this new circle, I'm gonna tuck my string, pull it, and try to get the knot to go right on top of that previous knot that you just made. And we're gonna do it one more time. There you go, so now it's made a pretty good sized knot, and we can thread it with our needle and get started with this one.
Yeah.
We just have to find our needle. There it is. Okay. All right, everybody, do you want me to start it for you, or do you want to start it? You're gonna start it? Okay, one little trick that you may have noticed if you watch the time lapse really carefully, but when we're going to thread this through, we want to hold the thread and the eye of the needle together like this, so that way you're not pulling the string. If you pull the needle at the very, very top, the string's going to come undone. I don't know if you can see that or not, but just if you have a problem with your needle coming unthreaded while you sew it, make sure you're holding the thread and the eye of the needle together, so that way it doesn't come undone. All right, you're getting started by yourself?
No.
No, I'm starting it. Okay.
But
Sometimes I'm not a very good listener.
sometimes I'm not good at it. But you are.
All right, so I'm gonna pull it until it stops, and then we're gonna decide how long our needle is. All right, there we go, everybody. Take over, my dear. All right, so everybody has attached her heart onto her ribbon. Oops, this way, under her ribbon. And then what we have to do is, now that she's all done, we are going to knot it off, okay? So I'm going to just kind of go through the middle, and this is her knot from the very, very beginning. So sorry, I'm going to tuck that down. I'm just going to do a little knot right there. I'm going to loop it. I'm going to tie a knot and pull it. I'm going to do just one more. Put my needle through there and then pull it. And then what I'm going to do is take my needle and I'm going to go through the middle of the 2 hearts. And then just come out anywhere. And this way, we're going to pull the string through the middle. I'm going to pull it and cut it. All right, and then that way, your string is going to be hidden, okay? So now we're going to attach it onto our bookmark. All right, so everyone, you have this part all done, right?
Yes.
So now what we need to do is attach this ribbon onto the main part of the bookmark. So all I'm going to do, you guys, this is the middle part. I'm going to kind of tuck that ribbon down there again, so that way it's not too close to the edge. I'm going to put a pin through it in the front. So at this point, I have my pin in the front and the ribbon is tucked in there. Now we're going to grab your other piece that we haven't used yet, and we're going to sandwich that ribbon in between the layers, okay? All right, so we have the heart with the ribbon, right? And now what we're going to do is we're going to attach it onto the main part of the bookmark, okay? So we have our main part, and we're going to tuck the ribbon on that back piece. So this is the back of this piece. So we're going to pin that in place. And you want to go down a little bit far, so that way because you can kind of even see a little bit that it's starting to unravel a little. So we want to make sure we have like 1.5 inches or 2 inches down in there. And then you're going to take your other piece, the piece we haven't used yet, and we're going to put that in between there. So now the ribbon is going to be hidden in the layers, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is put some pins in here to keep them all together. And everybody's gonna let's do a running stitch, okay? And the running stitch will match the stitch that you did for your hearts. All right, so everyone, you have this part all done, right?
Yes.
Now what we need to do is attach this ribbon onto the main part of the bookmark. So all I'm gonna do, you guys, this is the middle part. I'm going to kind of tuck that ribbon down there again, so that way it's not too close to the edge. I'm gonna put a pin through it in the front. So at this point, I have my pin in the front and the ribbon is tucked in there. Now we're going to grab your other piece that we haven't used yet, and we're going to sandwich that ribbon in between the layers, okay? Alright, so we have it all pinned up. Guess what you get to do now? Let's do a running stitch, okay? So we have it pinned up so the ribbon is in the middle. What we're going to do is go through, let's just go through the top 2 layers. So when I talk about the top 2 layers, it's going to be the 2 layers that we sewed the hearts on already, okay? So we're going to go through that. Just going to poke it up. And now we can hide.
I think they know what a running stitch.
You think they know the running stitch? You're probably right. At this point, you probably know what a running stitch is. So we're going to hide that string in between those 2 layers. And now what you're going to do is now you get to sew through all 3 layers, okay? Alright, mind blown. Do you remember? Do you know what you're doing then? How many whip stitches do you think you're going to do? I don't know, whip stitches just happen. 10? Alright, let's see. Alright, running stitch is the name of the game. So it's you're going to make those little dashed lines, okay? Okay, so just, I'm going to show you guys this. So this is what she's going to be doing, all this outline, okay? So she's going to do that, and once that's all done, then we just have to knot it, and the bookmark will be done. So she's going to work on that running stitch, and we'll be back. Hello everyone, guess what?
I finished the bookmark.
She finished the bookmark. Everyone, you did a great job. This is such a fun little project. We have our hearts.
And also, wait, are you gonna send the different ribbons?
Yeah, so the kit might have different ribbon. It's just going to kind of coordinate with whatever colors you pick. So I hope you guys had a really fun time making this bookmark, and
Yeah.
I bet yours turned out beautiful as well.
Yeah, so this is a gift for my mom's mom.
Yeah, this is a gift for Nana Jean. So bookmarks always make good gifts, so you can keep that in mind.